Hello everyone, Nick the Gaming Otter here, and I wanted to do an update video of where I'm at, what's going on in my life, and what hopefully expect to see with the channel. So, as you can see, I've kind of pulled back on content creation. I've unfortunately not had a great year. It started off promising, and then unfortunately I fell very hard. And I think the hardest lesson to learn is, regardless of what decision you make or what the outcome you hope, you have to keep trucking no matter what. And I hope that people take away this from this video. And I know there are people that are thankful. I know there are people that are disappointed. But I want to thank the people that have stood by me and the people that have believed in me to keep going in life. And I really appreciate that. I know that trying to live through this year is one of the hardest years that I think anyone has had to live through in their entire life, especially mine. And all I ask is that if you're having a difficult time, to remember there will always be people that will not like you. But just remember to always stay by the ones that at least see you for who you are, that know you as a real person. So, it's definitely one of the hardest lessons I've had to learn this year. I've gone back to work, a normal job, so that's important. I think, unfortunately, as much as I like video gaming, I like playing games, it's a big time sink, and as an adult, you really start to see how much it starts to take up of your life, and that you need to have priorities with rent and bills and food and hopefully retirement. Because if you don't, then you're basically, unfortunately, sadly, chasing after a goal that doesn't exist. And sometimes it's the big problem with YouTube is there's a lot of rabbit holes. And sometimes you try to make decisions thinking the best, and when it doesn't end out, all you're basically doing is changing plans. And, there are things I'm really happy I got to accomplish. I'm really happy I got to go to conventions. I'm really happy to hold panels. Even if the outcomes for some of that stuff wasn't the best. But, I did like my Street Pass Live stuff, so I stand by that. I stand by Street Pass Live. So, definitely felt like the pinnacle of coming back to the Street Pass trend of the 2010s. I just wish that it was a lot bigger sometimes, It was great to see it kind of bubble up again from last year in 2023, but who knows, guys. So, I skipped New York Comic Con this year. I'm focusing on myself. I'm focusing on getting better. Hopefully I can record the launch of Pokemon Legends ZA. So I'll be doing it in Seattle. So if you're at the Capitol Hill, if you're at the Capitol Hill Pink Gorilla Games, definitely check out there. So hopefully I can obtain a copy. I have been working. I have been doing everything I can these past couple of months, because I've had to learn a harsh lesson that, unfortunately, the world doesn't always see your perspective. And when it doesn't, you just either gotta change perspectives or keep working. There's not much else I can say. So, part of me wishes that my family could be back together again. My family has not had a Thanksgiving in years. That's the thing that's, I think, the most depressing thing for me. I know it's probably never gonna happen. Maybe I'll get my own family one day. I can only hope, I can only pray, and I can only work towards that. So, If you don't see me as often on YouTube, just know to keep me in your thoughts and wish the best for me. And that's all I ask. And if you can help or any way you can, I appreciate whatever you're able to do for me. So, I just wish that people were easier, but people, I forgot. It's like life is always like high school. People just love creating narratives. So, being a survivor of it all, surviving all of it, learning to own myself is the hardest thing to have to do. And it's like basically being on a treadmill every day. And sometimes that treadmill breaks you down, and you have to remember not to be too hard on yourself. And just because you feel like you're capable of everything, you feel like you have this God complex in your 20s and your teenage years because you do cross country, you think you're on top of everything. You're not always on top of yourself until you find out when you have to learn to change yourself. And that's as much as I can say right now. So I hope that people will be kind in the comment section. I hope that people will listen to me and to hear me out. And if there's legit criticism, I ask that you give it in a way that it is not formed as an insult. And I know that people like doing that a lot. It's not a good thing to do, folks. I'm just telling you. I don't like these Trojan friendships. I don't like these. It's like, I just want people to be real with me. And so I'm looking forward to Tomodachi Life. I'm looking forward to Pokemon Legends ZA. But most importantly, I'm looking forward to just making my life better, even if I'm not happy. I had to remember watching the movie Click by Adam Sandler, and remembering that even though he wanted to progress through the boring parts of life, he had to put up with the boring parts to actually enjoy the better parts of his life. And I think that's a true sentiment from no matter what anyone's going through. And it's like diet. It's like I want to maintain a certain shape, and I have to remind myself every time I eat, like, to plan myself and to, I put on a little weight, but luckily not too much, and I lost a little bit. So I'm trying to stay on top of diet, I'm trying to stay on top of my physical well-being, and most importantly, I'm trying to stay on top of my mental health. And last month was Mental Health Month, so just remember to take care of yourselves and be thankful for what you do have. Anyway, guys, like, comment, subscribe, and just remember, keep the ones that you love closest to you. Thank you. Like, comment, subscribe.